Hello and welcome to another episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club. This is my winter 2024 wrap-up and my spring 2024 preview. I am recording this live on Twitch. You can find more information in the show description of this YouTube video and hit the, like button, add a comment about a show that you haven't gotten around to seeing, or your favorite show or shows from the winter season, and also what you're looking forward to with the spring season. And, if it's besides the third season of Laid Back Camp, because spoilers, you should be excited for the third season of Laid Back Camp like I am. All right, let's get into it. We're using AniChart.net here. Hey, turns out I haven't watched every anime that's out. And in fact, several anime, there might even be a good reason to watch it. Bottom tier character, Tomozaki, I did not watch season 2 of Bottom Tier Character because I didn't watch season 1, because while I do like the idea of, okay, you're good at video games, you're not good at real life high school stuff, what if you treated it like a video game? That's kind of an interesting idea, but it doesn't, from what I watched of the first season, it did not translate into a show that I liked, because I wasn't convinced at any point they were going to work on making that character in any way interesting or likable, other than he's the main character. You know what I mean? You got to give me something, and that just wasn't giving me anything. So I didn't watch season 2. Oh, also, we around here should not necessarily care about percentages that you see over here. It's a small amount of people, the amount of folks that, hey, certainly knowledgeable to posts that are at AniChart and AniList, which are paired together, rating the shows. That's an indication of generally some interest, but shouldn't always be the case, because sometimes they get it wrong, and sometimes they like stuff that's bad. It happens. Dr. Elise, the royal lady with the lamp. I wanted to like this isekai. I have not finished it. I could grow to love it. I love the concept. It's the villainous storyline, but it's an actual villainess who dies, goes to our world, becomes a doctor, understands, and has a moment to grow, and then dies again and goes back to her original life 10 years in the past. So you get the reincarnation stuff, you get the time elements, you get the villainous. It is an isekai, but it's like a reverse isekai, sort of. But I don't particularly, I think if it's a different world to you, then it is an isekai. And I just think it's really interesting. I think it's a really interesting idea. I just think that, one, it's not a well-produced anime. It doesn't look good. And two, it just doesn't move. Polly says, actually watching this and have no idea what the lamp bit is about. Yeah. Yeah, it feels like a literal, to me, it feels like this is a literal translation that I don't understand the context for. Like, it's an idiom in Japanese, maybe. That's the only thing I can think of is the royal lady with the lamp is unless at the end of the show we find out that all this happened because she touched a lamp, but I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Classroom of the Elite Season 3. I am not a teen. I am not a teen that wishes they were a brutally smart, too smart for their own good in a battle of wits situation, because that is the target demographic of Classroom of the Elite. If you see someone say they really love this show, there is a high probability, in my opinion, that they are a teenager. There are some very popular anime out there that I am just not the target demographic for, and I think this is one of them, because it's just, it's just the angst, mind games, twists and turns. I think it's well produced. I'm just not quite into it. This and the show Rent a Girlfriend. Those are the two shows that I'm like, these are insanely popular anime that I just blink at and go, no thanks. I've done this before. So yeah, again, rated highly, but just not my jam. Let's see. Gushing over magical girls. This show got 13 episodes. This is also not my jam. Um, yeah, no, I'm good. Uh, I'm good. I'm all right. At least it's not. At least this show is not about some Dorcas boy who needs to make magical girls horny for them to be fully powered, because that's already an anime that already has it, already exists. So at least they did a slightly different idea. But also, don't. What if you didn't? Cherry magic. 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard. That's right, folks. That's right, everyone. The show that at this time, 3 months ago, I was so worried was not going to get picked up. Did get picked up. Was picked up on Crunchyroll, but I was afraid no one was going to pick it up because it is a slice of life romantic comedy series with a little bit of supernatural stuff, but mostly just a lovely story with two gay dudes that are into each other. A guy can hear thoughts and he's like, wait, why is this handsome man thinking those thoughts about me? What does that mean for me? And what can I even do about that? And it's sweet and lovely and like, so there is it is a great show that I highly recommend. I'm not going to get too deep into it. And it's like, look, it's still very chaste. It is not subtext. This is not a subtext. This is a full-on text, and we're getting one other full-on text show next season as well. I love that these are just like professionals. These are not young high school students, because I also think high school queer romance has its place and is valid and necessary. But seeing different kinds of queer relationships exist in anime is important. And I think this one's neat. Cherry Magic. Check it out. It's one of my favorites from the season. Sengoku Yoku is getting 37 fucking episodes. And I haven't seen one of them. That episode count is redonkulous. 37 episodes. Because I was just like, okay, there's monsters and humans and they got to work together. Sure. I've heard nothing about this. I've heard nothing good about it. I've heard nothing bad about it. It just exists and somehow got 37 episodes. And sure. You know what? Maybe it turns out that it's rad. I don't know. Metallic Rogue, I have heard very good things about, and I have not watched. Because the description of it did not sound good. But I do know a few people that really liked it. This is on my short list of shows that I have not seen anything at all. It's not even at time of this recording, which is ahead about 6 days ahead of, or 7 days ahead of when this is going to come out on my YouTube channel. So, everything with a grain of salt there about when shows end and the times and all that. But yeah, Metallic Rogue, I've heard good things about. I have not investigated about this show. It is on my short list. And also, if it is great, it's an original. And I think originals getting 13 episodes, getting a break like this, always cool. Bones can be, they have more hits than misses. So I'm excited for Bones doing some originals. Okay, so Delicious in Dungeon. This is the one where I tell you, like, I tried again. I wish I liked Dungeon Meshi. I know it's on me that I don't like this. Now, have I watched every episode? No. I don't have Netflix right now. I watched 3 episodes when I still had Netflix before my subscription elapsed, and I did not renew it because I like to get it now and again. Trigger, fantastic studio, on point, seems to be a good adaptation of this. Very popular with people. People are enjoying it. I don't like the manga, and I didn't think that having it be animated was going to be enough for me. And sometimes it is. Sometimes that is enough for people. And for me as well. Sometimes I'm like, oh, like Bocchi the Rock. I read Bocchi before. I didn't read all of it, but I was like, this is fine. I don't really like 4 comas, like too much sometimes, and this is okay. And then the anime is just like, oh yeah, turns out a show about music, or when it's animated and you get to hear the music, it makes it better. Silly me. So I have liked anime adaptations of things that I didn't like the source material. In this case, it did not happen for me. This is still an all-timer. When I do my month of recommendations for shows from last season that I really liked, or this season here, there will be people to be like, "Where's Dungeon Meshi?" I know, it didn't work for me. Delusional Monthly Magazine. I did not watch this. I forgot. The first time I learned about this was looking at a list. The second time I learned about this was right now. It did not hit me. It's a fun premise, but like, just never even attempted. Okay, so here's where I say I was wrong. I was wrong, friends. I watched the first 2 episodes of Bravern, and I was like, and I keep wanting to say Bravern, but it's Bravern. I watched the first 2 episodes of BBB, and I was like, yeah, turns out my mecha stuff isn't super robot. I like more of my mech stuff is mecha, not necessarily super robot. I guess I just don't really like super robot stuff. I kind of always felt like I didn't like super robot stuff. And so I kind of just went, not for me. It's cool. I like that there was a bait and switch. I like that it seems to be pretty silly. I'm going to readjust my chair here. But I just don't think this is for me. And then, I weirdly enough, I saw clips and I saw like animated GIFs. And not on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has so much anime, they pick and choose what they decide to really push. They have not pushed this show at all. They don't have to push every show. And in fact, I'm sure there are contracts and stuff that stipulate what, and not everything gets pushed. And I get that and understand it. They have the things that they want you to know about. This was not one of them. But when I was seeing it on social media, I was like, oh, that does sound cool. Oh, that part sounds neat. Oh, okay. And at the time of this recording, still have not watched the 12th episode. I haven't watched the 11th episode either, so I'm a little behind. You're more Gundam than Big O. So, Dirty, yes and no. I'm more Gundam than Ghetto Robo. Because Big O is a big mech, is a super robot, but Big O, the anime, is the story of what if Bruce Wayne had a robot instead of a bunch of gadgets. Like, what if Batman just rode around in a mech? So it's a little, so are you more Gaio Gaigar or Zoids? So I'm more Zoids than Gaio Gaigar, because Gaio Gaigar is a very particular kind of thing. Like, I'm more Power Rangers than Voltron. Like, I don't mind a big machine, but that's just kind of where I'm at. BBB is fucking wild. It goes places. It is a homage and send up, and also the how much do I want to say about this? How much do I want to say about BBB? I'll just say this. If you thought that Cherry Magic was the only queer anime this season, you were wrong. I'm not going to get into too much about it, but turns out Bravern is unbelievably weird and cool and queer. And that's rad. And we'll move on from there. I have not been watching. My scroll wheel's being weird. I have not been watching Urusei Yatsura Season 3. David Production hitting it out of the park with this. Season 1 was great. I fell off during Season 2. I will be interested in getting back to Urusei Yatsura. What am I even doing Oh, you know what it is? I'm not doing alphabetical order. I didn't even realize I wasn't doing alphabetical order. Maybe I was. What's happening here? What am I sorted by? See, because I started with bottom tier, so I thought I was doing alphabetical. Apparently I'm not doing alphabetical here, so my apologies, friends. I thought I was doing alphabetical, and then I realized I'm not, and it took me too long to realize that. So I'm just doing on like next air date, and then I'll get to the other ones. So my apologies, friends. I messed this up, but we've been doing it for half an hour, and I'm not going back. Yurusei Yatsura. I am generally of the opinion that you don't have to go back unless you fucked up the first time, right? So like Shaman King, you didn't have to go back. It's neat that they went back. You didn't have to go back to Shaman King. Continuing Bleach, yeah, you should continue Bleach. I think that makes a lot of sense. Urusei Yatsura, you didn't have to do it again. It's good, but you didn't have to do it again. Fruits Basket. Yes, Fruits Basket needed to have that reboot. Needed to have another adaptation because they did all of it. And some of the weird changes got undone from the source material. And Fruits Basket is the best, in my opinion, the best modern example of, yeah, we did need to go there. And Urusei Yatsura, I think, is a good adaptation, but I don't know if it's a necessary one. So yeah, I just didn't watch Season 3. There was nothing I wanted to watch on High Dive, so I don't have High Dive at the moment. But I will be getting it again, probably for something that comes out next season. The Witch and the Beast. Did not watch any of this. This has been pushed hard to me on social media, but the story didn't seem interesting, so I didn't check it out. Okay, so Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash. If you want to watch an isekai and feel bad, this is the isekai for you. I would say that this is not a heartwarming journey. It is a sad journey. Ivy has barely any memories of her previous life. She knows that this is it. She knows she's been isekai'd, but that's about really it. She has some awareness of the world. She is just weak. She has a weak occupation, and she has weak ability in that occupation, and she's just trying her goddamn best. And good for her. Good for Ivy for trying her goddamn best. But, yeah, it's just fucking, it's a tough time. It's a tough watch. I think it's done well, but I was surprised it's got an adaptation because it doesn't fit, in my mind anyway, what the major isekai that get adapted are trying to do, which is, there are three major things. There is the overpowered main character. There is the grand epic adventure, which sometimes can be overpowered and sometimes not. And there is the, hey, but it's a girl and it's fun. Like, those are the major ones you get, which are often the otome ones. And we'll get into at least one of those later. Weakest Tamer is just like, it's kind of the epic thing, but it's not really an epic. I don't know. I didn't love it. And I stopped watching the anime adaptation because it's hard. So when this goes out on YouTube, I will have watched the 13th episode. I'm surprised they got 13 of The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. This is one of the good isekai this season. Because it is the story about a dude that didn't really have anything going on, that through his own somewhat like desires, but also his situation, becomes overpowered throughout the course of these episodes. Like, he's strong, but it really isn't until like episode 10 that it's just like, oh shit. Yeah, this dude like gets it. Like this is the wrong way to use healing magic. The wrong way to use healing magic is to constantly heal yourself while taking damage so you don't have to stop healing other people. And also strengthening your body with healing magic and being very strong because you've healed yourself while you've worked out. While you've been injured working out and training, you've been healing yourself, so you are increasing your stamina and your strength. Because if you like anime with a tough older lady who's not that old but acts like an older lady treating the main character poorly because she likes him, she's not tsundere, she's just hard and harsh. This is the anime for you because there's a muscle mommy in this one. Just gonna say it right there. There's a muscle mommy. There is a cool bear that is blue, that is fun. There's like a bear friend. We didn't get the owl friend. That's later in the manga. So no owl friend in this one, unless it shows up in the next episode, which I don't think it will. Also, fun stuff. The supporting cast. The guy who's actually the hero. The woman who is their support. His friends from school. He's still kind of milquetoast, but she has a fun character choice. They do a fun thing with the female support character. Like, she is, for a while there, the most interesting character in the show. And that's kind of fun and kind of cool. There's a lot of heart to this one. It's goofy. You do get an overpowered main character eventually. Again, there's 13 episodes. It felt like you only needed 11, but they're kind of doing a little bit of setup. I don't know if we're going to get more of it. I like it. I like this one. This was a good one. Okay. Snack Basu. So I did not watch. The animation style looked not great to me. I thought it was weird that this was a full length. I was like, this must be a short anime, and it's not a short anime, and that felt weird to me, so I didn't watch it. I didn't watch Card Fight. Did anyone pick up Card? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't watch Card Fight. Okay. So I didn't watch Buchigiri. Buchigiri feels like a show like Mappa did this. This is like Mappa's like B or C team, right? I like Buchigiri, but it's kind of hard to recommend because the MC is a coward, but I'm a sucker for high school rival gang anime. Yeah, right? Like, I think there's another one coming next season that I think might be something that you would like, Nathan, that I also might like. But this one, I was looking at it and I was just like, nah, I think I'm okay. Like, I just think I'm okay. Like, I was watching some clips and I was like, I'm all right. This feels like a show that, like, someday I'm going to see a clip of it somewhere, right? Like, I'm going to see a clip on something and I'm going to go, ooh, shit, what's that anime? And I'll go, oh, yeah, no, I'm all right. You know what I mean? Look, I do think that not enough shows have a genie in them. So, and I believe there's a genie in this show. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was another show I'm thinking of. That might be another battle anime show that I skipped that has a genie. But I don't know. It seemed kind of neat. Okay, so Mashal, Magic and Muscle Season 2. Still got one episode left of it. It got me. Season 1, I liked a lot, but I felt like, do I really need to see One Punch Man in Magic School? How hard, are the jokes going to be worth it? Yes, there are genies. Thank you, Nathan. Mashal, I kind of fell off the first season, but I finished it. I did finish it. And so when season 2 came out so soon, I was like, I'm probably not going to watch this one as it airs. And you might know this. The OP for this song is for the show is great. Creepy Nuts doing a fun rap. There's a fun little dance. It's catchy. It's on social media. You may have seen it on the TikTok or on the Instagram. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll watch a little bit of Mashal. Like, I've read it. I know what's happening. It's it's just fun. It's just a fun show. He's so dumb, and the people around him are so dumb in different ways, and most of the villains are not villains at all. Some of them definitely are, but a bunch of them are just weirdos. And it's got such a high percentage of enemies to friends, because all you need to do is, like, it turns out a lot of people who like are have a big head because they have cool magic powers, apparently being humbled by a guy that punches you in the face can change. Bullies getting punched can have a positive effect on bullies. And there's like a bigger picture to this season and all that. There is the guy that like loves his sister, and that sucks. And I wish that trope would just fucking die. Like, if you want to have a unlikable character in your party or your cast, your main cast, just pick a different thing. Pick any other thing than that guy likes his sister too much. Like, I'm tired of that shit. Tired of it. I didn't watch any of Kingdom. I'm so happy for people that love Kingdom. You got 5 fucking seasons. Studio Perot is fucking great. I'm so happy that you're getting more. You just keep getting more seasons of Kingdom. I am legitimately thrilled for you. Solo Leveling. You may remember that a little earlier I talked about like how with the thing that didn't happen to me for Dungeon Meshi, but did happen with like Bocchi the Rock, is that sometimes an anime adaptation can take the source material and improve upon it. And it's not just like the live medium of it, like the Bocchi the Rock instance, where it's like much more fleshed out, much more fully formed. It's like a better product. Somehow that's Solo Leveling, which is the modern godfather of like webtoons. It is the blueprint of a genre, a whole ass genre of webtoon. Of there are guilds, there's mysterious forces, there is a character who is bottom of the barrel but can fight through opportunity and hard work, can rise to the top, and is necessary to save the world. And the betrayals and the wide cast of characters and all of that shit. And it takes this webtoon. It takes this source material based on a web novel. And it takes that. And then it says, what if we took out the parts where he's an edgelord? What if we take out the parts that the author, who was a young man when he wrote it, let's take out a little of his wish fulfillment. Of like, let's take out the scene where he's like uses his powers, even though he wants to keep them hidden, to like make teen girls stop talking in a cafe. Like, let's get rid of that scene that sucks. Let's just do that. Let's move around some stuff. Let's reorder a few events or change some relationships because we have to truncate some things. In my opinion, it's the best adaptation of a manhwa we've had. And there haven't been that many, and some of them have been bad. Like, Tower of God, I think, is a fine example. Noblesse, they fucked over. The big example for a lot of people is God of High School, where they just, like, skipped a whole bunch of shit that was important and, like, barely did flashbacks to cover a few giant leaps they did. They needed, like, double the length of episodes that they had to tell that story, that portion of the story. Solo Leveling. It's taken its time. This dude, I will tell you, our main guy, Jin Woo, will become the strongest person in the world. And stronger than people from other worlds. He is not there by episode 11. He is not the strongest in the world yet. He's getting there. And the journey, I think, is fantastic. I think it is animated beautifully. No notes on the animation. A1 Pictures fucking nailed it. It's a slow burn in him growing and changing, and the story takes a very long time to kind of figure things out. Like, I think that we are not at the point yet, and we might get there in the next episode. One of his, like, major powers that is like through the whole fucking story, he hasn't gotten yet. That's the slow burn of this. It is just exceptionally well done. I think the opening song isn't that great. That's my only really complaint with Solo Leveling. But it comes with my highest possible recommendation. If there is a show that you did not give a shot, you did not give a chance this season of any of the shows I'm recommending, this is the one to check out. Dangers in My Heart Season 2. I'm glad they got a Season 2 because Season 1 had a delay because of COVID stuff, because an outbreak in the studio where they'd stop making episodes and then come back to it. So the fact that they got a Season 2 is cool. I did not watch this one because I was not interested in it. Wonderful Precure, did not watch that. I love that there's so much Precure. I love that Precure comes to the United States. It comes to Crunchyroll, I should say, specifically. I love that for fans of the Magical Girl stuff, and particularly the Precure series. I'm glad you get it. It's awesome. It's not for me. Ninja Kamu, I don't remember. Okay, so this one. Okay, this is why. We're only on episode 8 of 12. I was like, I have not heard of this. I don't know what it is. Is it on Amazon streaming? Okay, it might not be on anywhere that, like, I wonder if the Amazon, like, I'm not going to look now to see if it is available, like, to stream on Amazon. I have no idea what this is. My apologies, friends. Former ninja, hiding a violent past, rural America with his family. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Rising from his seeming death, he rumors his former ninja to avenge his family and friends. 21st century ninja. Cyborgs? Okay. It streams on Max, says Nathan. Thank you. I don't have Max right now. Hey, John. Thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate that very much. 13 months. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. We'll give you a little bit of applause there. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, Ninja. It's okay. It's on Max. Great. I don't have Max. That's why I didn't know about this. I'm glad it's a weekly release, though, and is not a dump all at once show. No problem at all. We're talking anime from last season, and then we'll talk about anime from next season, which is coming soon. All right. So Moonlit Fantasy Season 2. Tsukimichi is getting this is the second season. It is a 2-core. I don't think you should watch this show. But if you do watch this show, I hope you're having a great time with it. I think it's been fine. This is one of those isekai schlock shows. I do like the main character has a reason for getting strong, and not just to protect people, but also to get revenge on the person that summoned him and then rejected him. I think that's interesting. There are some fun characters in this show, but overall, recently, we're about halfway through the season. Recently, a giant bear showed up and a giant bird, a giant eagle. So there is a giant bear and a giant eagle. That's pretty good. But for the most part, I'm just like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm just kind of all right. Shaman King Flowers, which is the sequel to the Shaman King reboot from 2021. You love Tsukimichi. Nice, Nathan. Yeah, it's just a hard recommendation because, like, I don't know. It's only I'll say this, okay, before I go into this. Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy is only a little edgelordy. There's, like, some edgelordy scenes. It's mostly just, like, a power fantasy show with a little bit of an interesting twist in the beginning of it. And the sporting cast, I think, is pretty solid and fun. But it's hard for me to be like, this is a great show that you should check out. You should watch the first season before you get into this one. It's a little bit of a hard sell. I have not watched any of this Shaman King sequel. Brand new sequel to Shaman King. So we're getting more of it. It's about the son of the main character. This is, yes, friends. Shaman King Flowers is the Boruto to Naruto. It is the sequel series. It is the Inuyasha sequel about the daughters, Yashahime. Um, and like, okay. Um, I don't know. I like, to me, it's like, I'm good, but like, you know, if that's something you want to get into, I think that Shaman King didn't need a remake because I think the first adaptation was fine, but okay. I did not watch any of. Now we're going to get into all the anime that already, at time of this recording, already had all its episodes or just finished up. We'll get through all those. Tis Time for Torture Princess. I did not watch any of Tis the Time for Torture Princess. I hope that people enjoyed it. The very premise of it, of like, oh, a person gets kidnapped, but like, it's kind of fun. Like, I already gave my heart to Sleepy Princess, which is great. And to me, I just didn't need to watch this one. Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. I just watched the last episode of that before recording this. So, Seventh Time Loop, not an isekai. The light novel title would make you think this is an isekai. It's not, but it is a time loop series. And I love it. I love how it juxtaposes this seventh loop with her previous lives, the interactions of characters where she's like, ooh, I know what happens there. She is not all powerful just because she has lived a bunch of lives previously. She has the information from those previous lives, but she still needs to do it. And there's a lot of missing pieces to this. This was supposed to be the life where she fled. She got as far away as possible from the war that was coming, the war that has led to, indirectly or directly, her death previously, all her deaths previously, including the fact that as a knight, she was murdered by the guy she is now engaged to marry, the future emperor that causes the end of her life every time. And this is the time, this is the loop where she's like, I'm going to fucking fix this. I'm going to prevent him from doing this. And so we get to see how she gets there. The introduction of the major antagonist comes in too late in the series for my liking, but I think the pacing otherwise is pretty rad. And I think it is worth checking out. It is not the most beautiful animated series, but it is an interesting story, and I really liked it. So that's Seventh Time Loop. I'd recommend it. A Sign of Affection is on my short list of things that I did not watch this season. Turns out I didn't watch any romance. The closest I watched to romance is Seventh Time Loop, which is a romance show, but it's a weird one. I didn't watch any of these straight up like high school or college or workplace. Cherry Magic. I watched Cherry Magic. That's it. Cherry Magic is the closest. Is the only one of that genre that I watched, turns out. Turns out I did watch one. But yeah, A Sign of Affection, I've heard very good things, and I have read a very nice piece from a person, an anime fan who is also deaf, about this series that was very glowing and positive, and I appreciate that. I would like to check it out, but it just didn't register with me. Again, it's on my short list of things to watch, so I'm hopefully going to get to it. Because like, I don't know, it just it didn't hit me. I was a little turned off in the beginning of reading about it because I was like, is this like a savior piece? Is this like, oh, this guy sees past her disability and falls in love with her anyway? It doesn't seem like it's that, so that, which is good from what I read. It's also I'll say this, it's a great name. It is when your main character like is deaf and your show is called A Sign of Affection. It's pretty good. Banished from the Hero's Party, I Decided to Live a Quiet Life in the Countryside. Season 2 is part of the Banished/Kicked subgenre of action series. It is, the first season I thought was rad. It is not the top of anyone's list. This is a lovely blend to me of my biggest complaint with the first season of Banished was it was a nice, slow romance series with like a cool story, a backstory, and some fun characters and some action, but it was mostly about their relationship. And then at the end of that season, it became all about all of the drama that had led to him being banished, coming back full circle. And I was like, that's kind of a bummer. Because then it just got really into the weeds with the fighting. This season is a better balance of that. Because there is a completely shit garbage new character that comes in. This dude, Van, up here. This guy fucking sucks. The little fairy fae friend sucks. And he's supposed to suck because that's part of the season. So it is a balance of like, okay, let's deal with the new person who is the hero and the new hero's party. And then also we can deal with our previous hero's party, what's left of it, and dealing with that. So it is, I think, is a good balance of the two. It has a very good, it sticks the landing of season 2, which I think is great. The little spider friend is there. We don't see enough of our spider friend, Mr. Crawley Wally, but like, we still have a cute spider friend, and that's good. There's like a little bit more romance. It's a little more romance here and there, which is pretty fun. Like, there's some stuff. There's a little bit of subtext about maybe a character is queer in the show. It could be that multiple characters might be queer. Again, it's real fucking subtext, but I like it. I don't know if I'm going to convince you to watch season 1 to get into season 2, but I think Banished from the Heroes Party is a good one of those. Blue Exorcist. I did not watch this. I've never gotten to Blue Exorcist. I'm glad they're making more of it because I know there are a lot of people that really like this series, and it took a very long hiatus. So I'm glad they're getting more episodes. This show never really stuck with me. I do like the idea of a guy that is possessed with a monster or demon being like, oh yeah, no, I want to fight demons. Yeah, no, don't kill me right now. Let me fight demons. It's also what you get in what am I thinking of? Names give it. You've seen it before, right? You've seen it since, I should say, because this predates the other ones. But the idea of somebody who is cursed to die deciding they'd rather get a reprieve on that so they can fight the thing that they are part of it's been in anime. But yeah, I just never really got into the series, so I did not continue to watch this one. Chain Soldier, did not watch, did not hear anything about, could not tell you anything about Chain Soldier. It does have a bunch of bullshit jargon that it presents like it's not a big deal. So you do get Chief of the seventh Unity of the Anti-Demon Corps. You do get that shit. But yeah, I didn't hear anything about Chain Soldiers. High Card, didn't watch season 1, so I didn't watch season 2. Hokkaido gals are super adorable. Oh, it's one of the horny ones. Yes, okay, so Chain Soldiers is one of the horny shows. Peaches are resources given to women, granting them abilities, and he can... Oh, okay. Yuki must willingly become Kyoka's servant, both on the battlefield and at home. Oh, yeah, so it's a horny one. It's one of the horny ones. Okay. Oh, yeah, it says ecchi right there. There you go. It's one of the horny shows. Hokkaido Girls Are Super Adorable is some goddamn shit. It's shit. It's not good. It's palatable. It's like Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable is fast food. Great. Wouldn't only want to eat it. Don't recommend you only consume it. But like, sometimes McDonald's is fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like, if you're in the mood for it, nothing hits a spot quite like it. Maybe you want a little sugar in your French fries. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah. I think that I will forget everything that happened in this show within a week. I already don't remember everything. I'm not fully confident that I've watched every episode of this show. I don't remember if I finished this show. Yeah, sometimes you want to dip your fries in a Frosty. Yeah. Hokkaido Gals Are Super Adorable is like not good, but in the grand scheme of the women are here for you to look at and be surprised about how great they are, if like this kind of lady is actually sweet and adorable, like this is a good one of those. There is some trivia. Yeah, there's a little bit. Not really. The Hokkaido gal, like the Hokkaido is not the important part about this. It's the gals. It's mostly about gals are here. In Ashura, I did not... What was this? Was it based on a light novel? Demigods Inherit the World. Okay, yeah, no, I read the... Yes, I got to eager to attain the title of One True Hero. Yeah, I did not think this looked good, and I did not watch it. The description of this, I was like, nah, I'm good. So I did not watch that at all. Get the feeling it's sponsored by Hokkaido Tourism. It totally could be. It would not surprise me if it was, because cities and regions love to sponsor anime. Because it legitimately raises tourism. It increases tourism, I should say. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Meijin Genki, 1874. I am tired of this era. It is on my list. It is on my list. Three Kingdoms adaptations. Son Goku adaptations. And Meijin era. But with a twist. I'm just done. I'm just done with it. And Oda Nobunaga, as a character that is helping out someone who's been isekai'd, or taking a character from that era and putting them in a different situation, even if it's a dog, because that show was fun. But like, come on, I'm done. I'm just done with it. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. The samurai era is over, but the samurai era was cool. So I don't know what we're doing here. It's just not for me. Mr. Villain's Day Off. I didn't love this manga, and I kind of didn't love this anime. I like the idea of it way more than the execution of it. But I could be wrong. I do think it's funny, and I do like a good comedy anime, and I do like a good comedy slice of life. But it just didn't do it for me. I want to like this more than I like it. I just think the premise is so strong, but yeah. I mean, pandas are good. I did not watch My Instant Death Ability is Overpowered because I've read the manga, and I quit the manga at some point because... So here's the thing. The premise. That this dude, it doesn't matter that he didn't get an OP skill. It's a class summoning to another world, right? Everyone's got some powers. Some people are stronger than others. It's all working for a shitty goddess who's trying to do something, and so they don't matter. Our dude does not get cool abilities. But that doesn't fucking matter. Because his instant death ability isn't from this other world. He had it on Earth. He already has that ability. So it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter what you all do to him. He literally just can kill you. And because he is kind of like not much of a character, that's the joke of it. You have to have a supporting cast that are fun surrounding him, and I think they do an okay job with that. I don't know if in these... I assume they didn't, but in these 12 episodes, I have to imagine they didn't get into the actual backstory of how he has that ability or more about him having that ability. And it's like 30 chapters of the manga. It's such a long thing to dive into. It's kind of wild. But yeah, this is totally skippable. This is not an isekai you need to watch. It's not on my list. Pon no Michi. So nobody picked this up. You can watch it on pretty easily. You can find it out there if you want to watch it. I thought the premise of this was very cool, but it is not available on Netflix or Hulu or Crunchyroll or High Dive. And so I didn't watch all of it. I think the premise is neat. We are getting girls doing things next season. We are getting some of those shows, so we will get that. I wish it had been easily available because the premise was kind of fun. Sasaki and Peeps. I dropped this series, and I was bummed about this series because the idea of a middle-aged man, like, being isekai'd because he bought a bird at a pet store who is a magician trapped in the body of a bird is such a fucking cool idea. And then the anime happens, and I was like, oh, this part isn't cool. The characters in the real world who have different abilities that aren't magic, because there's like espers, and there's this other girl that is like his neighbor, and she's like yandere, and there are like other magical girl stuff going on as well. And it's like, if it had just been a middle-aged man and his bird, his magical bird friend, Peeps, going on adventures, I might be on board. But there are just too many young ladies in this show. There are just too many young ladies hanging around this dude, and I was like, why the fuck are you ruining this? Way too many concepts. Yeah, again, all you need is a middle-aged man's take on adventure. You know, like there are a lot of 20-somethings, teenagers. I mean, way more teenagers getting isekai'd and 20-somethings than anything else, right? So, like, that's why, like, Rimuru in Slime. Slime is like, he's a guy with his shit together, right? You know, like, yeah, he had people that respected him at work. He was like a guy in his field that was doing well. And so you get this middle-aged man as a slime, and that's like kind of an interesting take on it. This could have been the same thing. Nathan says, I wanted Sucking Peeps, but it tried to be multiple shows and none of them were good. Yeah. So the fact that it was trying to be all of these different things, like as soon as they're like, oh, also in our world, there are espers and there's a government group and you're being recruited to be in that group. And also we're going to tell you right away that your superior is evil. Like, fuck off. Like, what are we doing here? That's already a show. You don't need these to be both. And then you add in other characters again, and you add in like weirdness and creepiness immediately. And it's like, man, this should just be a dude and his bird fucking learning magic and being cool. I was disappointed. I did not watch season 2 of Sensuality Noir Part 2. It's got mechs in it, but the first season I didn't like, so I didn't watch the second core of it. Or Tales of Wedding Rings. So this is another one of those shows that, like, I bet somebody 25 years younger than me, maybe 30 years younger than me, this is their favorite show of the season. Because I liked shows like this. I have liked shows like this. I still think Tenchi Muyo is good. It's not. But I still think it's good because when I watched it, I was amped for this guy is a nobody and he's trying his best and there are a lot of ladies who love him. But he's also trying his best, which is an important element to these shows. That's what this is. This is just a dude that, like, turns out his friend, his childhood friend, is an alien, and he's like, well, I'll marry you. What? And then he becomes magical, and things happen. And it's just like, I don't need to watch that. I don't need to watch that. But I bet this is somebody's fucking favorite show this season. Because one look at this art and I go, so does he end up with all of them or just one of them? I kind of know the beats of the show, right? I think I know where this show goes. The Ring Hero and the Ring. Her name is also moratorium on naming your princess character Hime. Can we not do that? Can we just, like, I understand that you don't have to be subtle. You can just be hit over the head. But her name is Hime. We really got to keep doing this. She couldn't have any other name. Her name the entire time he knew her was Hime. Come on. At least in Flame of Recca, he's her prince. She's his princess. Hime is Rekka's princess in Flame of Recca. I did not watch this. This seemed bad. The trailer for this just seemed bad. A 16-year-old that inherits a house where there are yokai, and they are handsome men yokai, and it just seems inappropriate. Maybe it's great, but when I looked at that, I went, no, I'm good. It's just going to be a bunch of magic dudes being mean to a 16-year-old, and then her falling in love with at least one of them, even though they are mean to her. I was like, I think I'm good. Fire Hunter Season 2. I made a whole ass video for Pat Bear's Anime Club previously about giving the Fire Hunter a shot because I had not watched it and I heard good things about it. And I was like, I'm going to try to get into the Fire Hunter. I did not like what I watched. That show is just so slow. And it doesn't feel like it's on purpose. It just feels like they didn't know what they were doing with it. This is the second season. It's only 10 episodes. I think that's fine. I think the first show was only like 11 maybe. And I think more shows should consider doing less episodes if they don't have a lot to say. I think it looks really good. And that's the best I can say about it. The fire looks good. But yeah, there was nothing much to it. So I didn't watch the second season because I didn't really like the first season. The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil. This is not good. Putting it in a high school makes it kind of interesting. Demon and angel falling in love. It's star-crossed lovers kind of a thing. It is fun because they are... A element of this show that I do like is how mad they are about the situation they are in. They are mad at each other. They are mad at themselves. And I think that is sometimes a missing element to the star-crossed lovers, enemies to lovers kind of a thing, is the, like, you should feel bad that you are in this situation. Because often it becomes us against the world. They don't get our love. They don't understand our love. And rarely do you get is part of the reason I like you because I'm not supposed to? Like, you don't get that too often, right? You don't get that, like, what is it about you that I'm interested in? Is it just because you're someone I'm not supposed to be with? So I don't think this is good, but I do think that it does put an interesting twist on something that I'm kind of bored with. Strongest tanks, labyrinth raids. A tank with a rare 9999 resistance skill got kicked from the hero's party. Don't watch this one. Don't watch a show that I really enjoyed. You don't need to watch strongest tanks, labyrinth raids, I should say. It's not great. It's a kick from the hero's party. This dude was awesome and you didn't understand it. It does go out of its way to make it clear that the hero's party had at least partially a good reason for getting rid of this guy. They weren't fully aware that they were fucking up. And then also, they almost immediately get comeuppance and then never talked again, which is great. A lot of these kicked shows, the main character or manga or whatever, the main character turns out to be awesome. And then the people that abandoned him need revenge on that because they are so incredulous to the idea that the guy they kicked out was actually the reason why they were so strong. So this doesn't do that because they're just like, oh yeah, everyone fucking fucked up when you were gone. Turns out you were taking all of the damage they were inflicting and they never learned to be good at what they're doing. But this is not a great show. It is totally watchable, totally enjoyable. The sister that has a feelings for her brother is not creepy. It could have been. It could have been a creepy character. It's more that she is just like so conflicted by the idea that he could live a successful life, but he chose to be with her because she's sick. Like her parents were, their parents were going to abandon her. He decided to abandon his parents to be with her instead. So that kind of stuff, like where originally I'm like, ah, fuck, it's going to be one of those. It's not one of those, which is nice. There's some good support characters in it. There's the story, the episode, the season ends, I think, pretty strong. You don't have to worry about this one. I don't think you have to worry about this one. If you end up watching it, I think you'll like it, but you don't have to. Hey. Villainous Level 99. I just finished this today at time of this recording. I finished it this afternoon. Villainous Level 99. I may be the hidden boss, but I'm not the demon lord. Is a video game isekai. Okay? Our main character was a gamer. And I've said this before, describing it, a capital G gamer. She was playing this otome game, this dating game, not because she wanted to romance some dudes, but because, for whatever reason, this game had very intricate RPG mechanics. It went out of its way to be a good RPG, and she loved RPGs. So she has a good memory of this game, and when she wakes up as the hidden boss, the villainess, the girl that is just tormenting people and turns out to be the final boss that's stronger than the Demon Lord, she's like, okay, I mean, I won't be broken like this character was because insults don't bother me. That's fine. I have dark hair, dark eyes. You think I'm the Demon Lord. I have dark magic. You're scared of me. Whatever. I don't care. But she's like, but the Demon Lord's going to attack. And I can't be convinced for sure that the hero's party is going to go along with the story of the game. So I'll just get strong because also that sounds fucking fun. And so she becomes level 99. She is at the level limit. She is strong. Her magic is impeccable. She could defeat the Demon Lord at any time. And she gets mixed in with the hero, the heroine, and the other people and deals with all that. There's a dragon that's cool, although animated in a terrible CGI, which sucks. I'm bummed about that. The fights are fun. It's mostly about her trying to negotiate things and deal with people and deal with the plot going in different directions because her involvement of not being a bully, the villainess. And the thing that I need to tell you most about this is, and I'm speaking on this here, based on clues presented in it. This is not text. This is a subtext. This is my interpretation of Yumiella, the main character. I have never seen a main character in an anime like this that is this much on the spectrum. She is very smart, but also very dumb. The CGI dragon is so bad it almost wraps around to being good to me. Yes, it's almost kind of great. But yeah, she's on the spectrum. Because she doesn't understand social cues. And it's not just she doesn't understand why this guy is, this guy that she's with likes her. She doesn't understand that for a very long time. No, it's because she's level 99, falling out of the sky and landing in the ground isn't going to hurt her. So she's like, why are you worried about me? Because I'm so strong, you don't have to worry about me. Because logically, that doesn't fit in her brain. But she just doesn't quite understand that, like, no, even though you're strong, I still don't want you to be hurt and go through the thing of having to heal yourself. Like, I want you to be okay because I care about you. And, like, they are friends, and she doesn't understand. She's like, oh, yeah, well, I guess someday we could be friends. Because she's just like, oh, well, you know, it's someone I can talk to, and I'd be bummed if he went away. Like, not understanding the social cues of it. There's a lot of it where it's like, oh, this girl is just coded like that. Like, she is occasionally incredibly clever. Like, she can manipulate a situation with the other girl that was like, that should be a bully because she loves the prince. And she can kind of like maneuver around her and deal with situations there because that's like how you would do it in a video game. But when it comes to actual interactions between people and understanding human emotions, she's not great at it. And it's like comically bad at it. Like, she's just like, well, my way of leveling up is efficient. And I'm sure everyone will be excited about that. There is no evidence that anyone would be excited. And in fact, evidence is presented by the way people talk to her and freak out about it that no, her method of efficient leveling is bad and she shouldn't do it. And she like doesn't pick up on that. And again, she's not dumb. She's just on the spectrum. And that's fucking cool and different. Is a different take on this. She is all-knowing in some ways, but she is in many ways not all-knowing. And I love that. This is not the best show this season, but it might be my favorite of the shows that are not great. Of the shows that are not top tier. Like, Solo Leveling and Frieren are the best shows this season. But Villainous Level 99 is the show I like talking about the most. I think that's where I'm at with it. Give it a shot. I think it's interesting. I think it's fun. When the dragon is a baby, it's digital and not CGI, and it's great. But when it's a CGI dragon, it's not awesome. All right. Shorts. I didn't watch any shorts. There was an Isekai short. No one picked it up, as far as I know. Isekai Onsen Paradise is about a guy that likes onsens that goes to a different magical world where they don't like onsen, and so he has to convince a bunch of girls that onsen are great. Now, would it be better if he had died and he got reincarnated in another world as an onsen? No, but it would be better. It wouldn't be good, but it would be better than this. I didn't watch it because it didn't end up anywhere. Again, I didn't watch any shorts, so we can just skip through all this. To Leftovers. These are shows picking up their second ones. That is a manga. Yes, Brozard. There is a manga about a guy that reincarnates as an onsen, but that is a different isekai than what that was. Okay, I didn't watch that. I don't think anyone picked that up yet, so I didn't watch that. Yes. Ragna Crimson, I still didn't pick up. I didn't watch the first season. I didn't watch the second part. No, Seven Deadly Sins, no thank you. I'm good. Okay, so Shangri-La Frontier. This is a good one of those. And by one of those, I mean VR MMO, the show. I think I've only liked one show that is that. It's weird because I like shows where characters are in a fantasy world. But I don't like shows. It turns out I don't like shows about a guy or girl or whoever playing a video game, even if it's a VR game. I do like Boofery because Boofery is fun as hell. So I'm predisposed not to enjoy this, especially if it's like, also I don't really like I'm going to have to beat this bad thing. Like the idea of I'm going to get good at this bad video game, the anime, just doesn't really get me. So I didn't even give this a try. Maybe I would like it, but I just don't like the genre. Like I said, Bofuri, I think, is fun because Bofuri is like a weird OP girl in a game thing, and I think that is a fun twist on it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just not super into the VR MMO kind of thing. The anime about someone playing a video game. I did not watch this, but I'm glad people are getting more of it. And I love that it's trying to imitate its art style of the time. Dog Signal. Nobody picked up Dog Signal. It's just a show about dog walkers, and it got 20 episodes. It's just an anime about dog walkers, and I can understand why no one picked it up. But what if someone had? That'd be kind of cool. And it's called Dog Signal, which I think is a good name. Maybe it sucks. I don't know, but I would like someone to pick it up. Firefighter Daigo Rescuer in Orange. I did not watch any of this. Didn't watch the first season. Didn't watch this here, which is the sequel to Daigo a Fire Company. Have not watched it. Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Thank you, Madhouse. So watching it again, because I have watched most of these 28 episodes a second time, some of the animation is a little rough. I'm thinking specifically of the fight with the dragon. There is a dragon fight in this with one character that, looking back on it, I hope the eventual home release in Japan, they redo it. But for the most part, everything about this is A+, top tier, gorgeous, show of the season. It was one of my favorite shows of 2023. In a year where there wasn't Witch from Mercury, it would have been my favorite show of 2023. It is already one of my favorite shows. Actually, right now, it's my favorite show of 2024. I'll say that. I like it better. I like the second half better than I like Solo Leveling. So right now, it is my favorite show of 2024. If you did not give this show a chance, please. It is a slow burn. It has its moments. There's a whole arc in those 28 episodes where there's lots of action, and it takes a little while to get there. I will say this. If you watch this show and you don't like the juxtaposition of what's happening right now and how it relates to what happened in the past with the hero, with Himmel, if you don't like that, compare and contrast. This won't be for you, because that is the central conceit of this, is Frieren going on this journey and having moments that reminisce about her past journey, the best time in her life, and now this new good time in her life. I think every character is rendered with love. Sometimes in a show, you can see a minor character and you go, oh, that character's coming back because they put attention to detail in that character. That character model is too good for a one-episode character. And there are plenty of characters that make appearances and reappear other places, but literally every character is treated with love in this show. It's just like, well, we'll never see that old man again, but god damn it if we didn't make him look cool as hell. It's a top-tier show. My highest recommendation, get into Frieren. It fucking whips ass. And Apothecary Diaries. I came around on this show. I didn't watch it last year as it came out. I don't think it would have hit my top 10. I don't think the first half of Apothecary Diaries would have ranked in my top 10 had I watched it last year. It would probably been like in the top 20. And the second half, I think, is better than the first half because we start to get into some stuff that I don't want to delve into here of like what's going on. And there's some choices. There are some capital C choices made in this one. Our main character is weird as fuck, and I love that. She is a goblin. She is a weird goblin character, and I love that for her. So again, I came around to this one. Yes, she's the best goblin. Like I literally over time was like, actually, I really do like her. So I came around on this one, and I would recommend it. Um, and yeah, like I said, uh, I wasn't ready for it last year, but it's like so many people were like, "Oh, you didn't watch that show? You should check that out." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I will." Undead Unluck. The manga never really did anything for me, and I didn't seek out the anime. I didn't. I rarely. I have access to Hulu right now for one show, um, that won't be listed here. Sandland. I don't know if Sandland is going to appear on this list, or it will appear on next season, because it did come out during this season, but 7 episodes are out and more are coming. So maybe it'll show up on the next one, or it'll show up in movies and OVAs, because you may have noticed there's a couple shows we didn't talk about here. The way AniChart handles shows that AniChart handles any show that comes out all at once as a OVA or ONA, even if it came out weekly in regions. So there's a show that I haven't talked about yet that's in that category. So that might be where Sandland is here, or it might be in the next one. But I've gotten Sandland right now. Or sorry, I got Hulu right now to watch Sandland. Undead Unluck. I just never did it. Never did it for me. Didn't end up watching it. Movies. I didn't watch any of these movies. We're not going to worry about that. Let's see. Where are the OVAs, ONAs? Here we go. So we got some OVAs and stuff that don't come over here that often. And like, yeah, this is a 6-episode web anime series based on the game story Checkmate. Like, nope, I don't know what that is. Here we go, Fluffy Paradise. So Fluffy Paradise, in some regions of the world, came out all at once. Came out as a block. So that's why it's here in OVA, or OVA/ONA, even though on Crunchyroll it was weekly, and on TV it was weekly. Fluffy Paradise is way more of a fantasy action series than a slice of life, and I wish it was just a slice of life. I like the premise. The premise is this girl is like, well, you should give me a power if you're reincarnating me into this world. And God is like, all right, sure. And she's like, okay, well, I love animals, so do something with that. And he's like, all animals are predisposed to like you. I don't know what else. Like, this world is doomed anyway. She's like, wait, what? And then we just see this little girl make a dragon friend and also monster friends and all kinds of nonsense shit. There's some sadness in there. There's some action. It ends with a lot of fucking fighting. And it starts where you're like, oh, that's kind of fun. Like, an ancient dragon showed up and was just like, hey, someday we'll form a contract when you grow up. But right now we're cool. And just like, oh, this cool divine tiger doesn't like anybody except the prince and you. Like, that stuff's fun. It is fun in many ways. There's like a bird friend and a spider friend, and like a like hobgoblin evolves, even though hobgoblins are the top evolution of goblins, but a hobgoblin evolves into like a new thing, and they're like, we don't know what the fuck this guy is. And there's like a dog friend later, and a dog, but that's not the dog. That's not a kobold. Like, it's got all the elements that I would fall in love with. It was an anticipated show for me, and I liked it. There's just not enough fluffy in the show. There's like episodes where there's just like heavy, hard truths about the reality of monsters, and like someone's pulling the strings behind the scenes. And I'm like, okay. Where'd our dog go? Where'd the dog go that she rides on because the dog is big and she is small? Like, all right. There's a whole episode where she makes friends with like all the like lizards and various kinds of dragons, lesser dragons and stuff, and emus and things. And she just like hangs out. And then the guys that are in charge are just like, yeah, whatever, we gotta bring this girl around. And they're like, oh shit, that's cool. They all like her. Like, there's stuff to like about it. It just doesn't, unfortunately, hit. Great Pretender. There was a sequel to Great. Oh, okay, it's one episode. Okay, yeah, just to put it one. That's right. It was a movie. Yeah. That's right. And I think that might be it as far as series that got stuck in this category, but I'll just scroll through. Oh, yeah, also Unwanted Undead Adventurer. Also, in some region, aired all at once. Um, or maybe it was because it aired, I don't know why. But Unwanted Undead Adventurer, I've talked in this thing, this hour and change that I've talked to you. Let's see how long is this recording. Yeah, hour and 20 minutes that I've talked to you so far. I've told you about shows that I don't know if I convince you to give a shot. I don't know if I can do it, but I think it's really good. I don't think we're going to get a second season of Unwanted Undead Adventure, which is a shame because the manga fucking goes places. But I saw a lot of like weird criticism from people that make a living or part of their living reviewing anime, talking about how slow this show was and how it was like mostly voiceover from the main character and how it like didn't really didn't like appeal to them. And I was like, yeah, if it doesn't appeal to you, it doesn't, but that's the shit that's great. This dude tried his fucking best. He died nowhere near his goals, but he never gave up, and he was certainly not unwanted. He thinks he was unwanted. The Unwanted Undead Adventure. He wasn't unwanted. He saved lives. Like, part of the thing was, as adventurers were coming up, they learned from him. He was the closest thing to a novice trainer that they ever had. Deaths of adventurers went down considerably once he started helping out newbies. And when they skilled him and moved on, he didn't hold it against them. He was a guy that for 10 years was at the bottom of the barrel and then died. And then through some happenstance, some of which we learn way later, so we don't even learn in the show, he's a monster and he evolves and gets sentient back because he was a monster. Same in his life. He fought to survive even though he was weak. And the series is about him trying to evolve into a higher and higher forms of monsters to get his life back because he has a dream of reaching the pinnacle of adventuring. And it's not until episode 12 that we even really find out why he has this desire. The supporting cast is great. There are some characters that show up very briefly but come back, which is really fun. The action, I think, is really well done. The animation is great. It is a labor of love. Connected did a fantastic job with this one. It won't make lists. You won't see it recommended many places. It's a personal favorite this season that I always look forward to watching episodes of. If you're looking for something a little different, a little slower paced, a little heady in some parts, a little melancholy here and there without being sad, with some really weird characters and some good jokes, some good gags and good jokes here and there. I think it's awesome. That's the Unwanted Undead Adventure. And I think that's it from shows this season. And yeah, all right, we have now hit the bottom of this, so now we're going to go to the top, and we're going to go to spring 2024, and I'm going to drink some water, and then we're going to sort by, you can see here at the time of this recording, our season begins in 3 days and 10 hours with one room, but we are going to go alphabetical. We're going to do what we should have done in the winter season as we preview the spring season. We're going to look at all of the shows coming out here. This is going to be shorter than our first half because I haven't watched any of these, right? So I'm only going off of what I know about them from the source material, if I've read that, or from what I've read here and first impressions sometimes, because since the last time I looked at this, some shows probably got added. They got announced. Okay, so this is a romance series. Oh yeah, a girl approaches a guy who's getting dumped. This is such a weird first sentence to me because it's like, Honoru is a first year in high school that has a great family and wonderful friends, but not much luck when it comes to romance. She's a freshman in high school. It would be weird if she had a lot of success in romance, right? Like, to me, that's like the weird quirk about Honoru is she hasn't fallen in love yet. Okay, great. It's a first love, and it's like a goofy, awkward, and he's like too much, and she's not sure what it means. And maybe it'll be cute as hell. I don't know. But I was like, okay. Crunchyroll's got it. All right, great. An Archdemon's Dilemma, How to Love Your Elf Bride. I have read some of this manga. I think this show is fine. I don't know if I'm going to watch this. I can't tell you for sure I'm going to do it. It is an awkward, weird romance thing. The whole like, oh, I bought you, but I like you. It's like, oh, it's weird. I do like the idea of this dude is evil. Why? Because he uses magic. Everybody uses magic. It's just like wrong about him being evil. I don't hate that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one again. The source material didn't wow me. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skills to rise in the world. I don't love this manga. Of course, this is based on the light novel. I don't particularly love this light novel / manga. I do like the idea of often in these power fantasy reincarnation isekais, appraisal is almost an afterthought, or it's like, oh, that's part of my skill. The idea that, oh no, this is just a dude. He's not even clever or smart. He's just like a guy. He's just like really good at knowing what people are skills are and then using that. And I think that's interesting. So I still might check this out, but I'm not sure about it. Astro Note. The art of this makes me want to watch it. So a guy likes a girl and she's an alien or from another dimension. And that's where the hijinks comes from. Like, yeah, I'm probably going to watch that. Like, I'm probably going to watch like the first episode of it. It's coming to Crunchyroll. Yeah, I'll give that a shot. I don't know. It's the first one that we've looked at here where I'm like, yeah, I want to try that out. I didn't watch that much romance shows last season, so yeah, why not? Bartender, Glass of God. Every part of this makes me think this should be a short. Like, is this a full-length series? Crunchyroll is really pushing this one, and I've heard good things about the manga, but I haven't read it, and I'm like, I don't know. So far, nothing I have heard about this makes me say, oh, I gotta watch that. You know what I mean? It might be on your list. I don't know. But this one just hasn't hit me. Black Butler, public school arc. Black Butler does not do it for me, friends. It might do it for you, but I am not feeling it. Never have. Never been into it. Black Butler feels like, to me, a anime for straight girls who love the idea of pretty boys being in love, but chastely in love. You know what I mean? It's like girls that are really into yaoi, but not like boys love. That feels like the target demographic for Black Butler. Girls that want to like explore sexuality, but not too much. That feels like the people that like Black Butler. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting some stuff on that, but never been for me. Blue Archive, the animation, which just... If you ever see the words "the animation," you know that's based on a video game. It's not always, but it's mostly based on a video game. I don't know anything about this. I'm probably not going to watch it. This does not appear to be girls doing things. They're girls. But I don't know what the fuck is going on with that. Hey, they're cops. Oh yeah, no, I'm good. Blue Archive, the animation. No, I'm good then. Got little targets on their heads. Yeah, I'm good. Hey, you might have fallen off on My Hero Academia. Season 6 of My Hero Academia fucking whipped ass. Some of it, like season 5, fucking whipped ass. Season 6, whipped ass, and also was several gut punches. Season 6 had gut punches as soon after you had already been punched in the gut, like repeated gut punches, but also whipped ass. So I might get behind. I might not watch every week. I might not cover it on Build with Bear, my live streams, because so much is going on with it, and it's season 7. But yeah, My Hero Academia still cool, and Bones still doing a great job with it. Chilling in another world with my level 2 super cheat powers is a fucking isekai. This is an isekai it is a kicked out of the hero's party isekai. Our dude is just like summoned, and they're like, you don't have any powers, you have nothing. Your stats, you're level 1, you're probably never going to level up. You're just like a merchant? What? And so they're just like, get the fuck out of here. And they like banish him to a corner of the world where they're going to be monsters, and he's going to deal with that. But here's the thing. As it says, what will happen once the failed hero candidate finds himself with super cheat powers once he hits level 2? Because once he hits level 2, he just becomes overpowered main character. And what ends up happening is it's a harem anime. He does have a wife. That's his wife there. But there are a lot of other girls around him, all different kinds of girls. And like, there are conflicts, but most of the conflicts are solved because he's a nice dude. It is a show that I will it will probably air on a Sunday or a Monday, and it will be one of those shows I cover because it's airing on a Sunday or Monday. This is a easy ass watch. This is an isekai that is like, I already know I'm going to have a good time with it. Yeah. Just chilling in another world with my level 2 super cheat powers. This is like, JC Staff is just doing an easy one. I'm not going to watch Date Alive 5. I didn't watch Date Alive 4. I'll be so lost. I'm not trying to hate. I don't get it. I don't get Date Alive. Demon Slayer, okay, the first episode is 1 hour. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm going to watch more Demon Slayer. You kidding me? It's not coming out until May. And when it rolls around in May, I'm going to watch more Demon Slayer. It's Demon Slayer. Girls band Cry. High school second year, aims entering university while working alone. Girl is betrayed by her friends and doesn't know what to do. Another girl is abandoned by her parents and tries to survive in the city by doing part-time jobs. The world let us down all the time. Nothing goes as planned. But we want something that we continue to like. We believe there's a place where we belong. That's why we sing. I'm probably not. I think I'm probably good. Let's see. Does this get picked up anywhere? Is the High Dive? This hasn't been picked up by anybody. I'm probably okay with Girls Band Cry. I think I'm probably all right. Go Go Loser Ranger, which is a fucking fantastic title. This is a Disney Plus show, so I will probably not see it because I don't have any intention on getting Disney Plus, but what a good fucking title. This is a good adaptation title of Go Go Loser Ranger. Divine Dragon Rangers, yeah. Everything fucking sucked. It's a monster that is rebelling against the Dragon Rangers by becoming a Dragon Ranger. I was waiting for this one. Yeah. So this is a monster who is just like, I am sick of this shit, and so I am going to destroy the Rangers from the inside because the invaders lost the war. It's a great premise. This is going to be on Disney Plus, so I won't see it. It's the Power Rangers meets the boys. Yeah. It's a good premise. A great title. I will find out later if it's great because I have no intention of getting Disney Plus. God's Games We Play is a battle anime. It is the survival battle anime because the gods. Look, this could be any fucking anime of this genre. In their overabundance of free time, the gods grow bored and decide to create challenging battles of wits to spice things up. Their opponent, humanity, select few players called apostles meet the gods on the spiritual realm playing field to beat the deities in their own games. No, I'm good. I'm good. I don't need to. I do not need to watch this. Grandpa and Grandma turn young again. This is a good one. Crunchyroll's picking it up. Fuck yeah. This is a good one. This is a sweet one. Y'all, this is so sweet. It's just an old lovely couple becomes young and hot, and they're still young and they're young and hot, but they're still in love. Yeah, oh no, Grandpa and Grandma got hot. And then also, what do you do if you're just like, your grandparents are now young again and classmates of yours have crushes on them? Like, there's a little bit of that. It's so good. Because it's not like, oh, we got young again, let's act like we were. It's just like, nah, they're still the same people. They just have like energy. It's so good. I'm so glad this got adapted. I was so afraid it wouldn't. And also they got picked up. Because like, there was a show a couple seasons ago, sometime last year, there was like a show about like romance of like some like elderly people, and it didn't get picked up anywhere. And like, I'm glad this did, because it is really fun. Henjing no Salad Bowl is an isekai. Now, some people argue it's not an isekai because Sarah is from the other world. But Sarah is one of the two main characters. To me, this is an isekai. I think it counts. I know some people will say it doesn't count because the dude isn't the one being isekai'd. But I think it is. It's an isekai. It is a weird slice of life isekai. I have not read the light novel. I don't think it has a manga adaptation. It might. Yeah, no, this is not a romance tag. This is a weird thing. Like, it's a comedy, but it's not like a Jahi will not be defeated. Like, I don't think we're supposed to pity either of these characters from them like having a bad time. I think like, from what I understand, it is just like cute and quirky. And nobody's picked this up so far. I haven't said this yet. I should have said it hours ago, or at least when this started, when we started going through these like half an hour ago. At the time of this recording, this has not been picked up. That doesn't mean that no one is picking it up. Sometimes it means that AnyChart hasn't added it. Crunchyroll often just puts stuff up and doesn't announce some shows because they're last minute deals. High Dive usually puts up all their stuff ahead of time, but doesn't always. Cherry Magic last season, again, I did not know that if anyone was picking it up until it suddenly was on Crunchyroll. So someone could be picking up Henjin no Salad Bowl. But I don't know if anyone will. This seems cute. High Speed. The show follows the character Rin Rindo. Rin once had a dream of becoming a ballet dancer, but had to give it up the dream due to an injury. Then she became a NEET. And then she became a racer. It's in the near future. Next racing features AI control support and a revol burst mechanism. No, thank you. I think no, thank you. Hey, this could be a show that 3 months from now, I'm like, High Speed. I can't believe this show. I can't believe I was saying bad things about this or that I was feeling mad about this. I could have a change of heart on this one. I don't think I will, but I could. No, I don't even think anyone's going to pick this up. So I'm good. Maybe they did somewhere. Okay, I've been waiting to be able to talk about I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Okay, so I respect and appreciate that this anime looks like the manga. Its art style is like it is that art style from the manga. And I've watched the trailer for this. Obviously, this image will give you a clue of what it looks like. It looks like the manga. I hate how the manga looks. I'm not gonna watch this. I and like you want to make your main character cutesy? Go right ahead. Everybody looks cutesy in this. It's not that kind of show. It's an action comedy fantasy show. It's just that every character is cherubic for no apparent reason. I hate it. I hate the art style. I've tried to pick up this manga several times, and I'm just like, nope, not into it. Don't like it. Can't stand it. I hate this art style so much. So while I appreciate that they went for it, I kind of wish they fucking hadn't, because I don't want to look at it. So yeah, no thanks. I think I'm good on I was reincarnated as the seventh prince so I can take my time perfecting my magic ability. Jellyfish can't swim in the night. It's a Doga Kobo. I want to find what I enjoy. Shibuya. I don't know why I didn't hear. Ooh, okay. It's an artist group. Okay. Former idol, illustrator, a VTuber, and a composer. So some of this I'm like, ooh. And some of it I'm like, no thank you. So I don't know. Maybe I'll watch this. Maybe I'll check this out. It's on High Dive. This might be something I check out on High Dive. I don't know. I like the title. I like the production company. But I don't know if I like what I'm reading. Kaito Otome. Okay, I don't know what this is. Oh, this is a ecchi murder mystery show. But Ren is hiding a secret of his own. Not from me. I know his secret. His secret is, this is an anime I won't be watching. Kaiju number 8 is a manga that I have tried to get into in the past and just have not been able to. I am going to watch this anime. I cannot tell you I watch every episode of this anime. I am going to give this anime a try because I have wanted to get into this, and I think maybe it being animated will be the deciding factor. Even if I think now he's a monster, but he could be a good monster or a partial monster is kind of trite at this point. But like, I don't know. Production IG does great work. This could be rad. I like Studio Pierrot a lot. I am probably not going to watch this. Because the description, in the world of flying crow humans, trouble is brewing. What awaits Yukiya in his new master is intrigue, murder, a mystery drug, invasion from an unexpected army. Can they save the world of three-legged crows of Japanese myth? This feels like an adaptation of like something that I've never heard of. You know what I mean? You ever like read a description of a thing and you're like, this is like a modern retelling of a story I don't know. That's what this feels like. It's based on a novel. Okay. 20 episodes. Yeah, there's just, that does not speak to me at all, you know? Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World 3. We did get a side story series, a prequel side story for Megaman. But now proper season 3 of Konosuba. I don't find this show funny. Now, the idea of a magician or a mage that only wants to do explosion fire magic because it's the coolest magic is a very fun idea. And the idea of an isekai main character, when this show came out, when the manga was coming out, the idea that they were like, this guy sucks. That's our twist on the isekai genre, is that this guy sucks ass and this is a fun tale. And everybody involved sucks in different ways. Darkness has been a character that I have never enjoyed. I do not need to defend myself because people like, I mean, look, this is obviously not everyone has voted on the shows they're most excited about, but like any charts users have decided this is the show they are most anticipated, their most anticipated show this season. But for me, I'm like, I'm good. If you like the series, I'm glad you're getting more of it. It's a kid show nobody will get. We'll never get. Yeah, here's my number one. Number 12, go fuck yourselves, Annie Chart. Laid Back Camp, Season 3. It's more fucking Laid Back Camp. We're getting a couple new characters. There's a new fucking dog in this season. Look at that. There's a new dog. There's a new dog right over here. Got a new dog hanging out. The characters have aged because this is a show that ages its characters, which is rad. Yeah, we're getting introduced to some new characters, some old characters coming back. People are going to be camping in different places. There's another person with a bike, with a moped to hang out with Rin, it looks like. Nadeshiko is there, of course. I mean, look, it's got a different studio. 8-Bit has not done this show before. That can be worrying when in a show in a later season gets handed off to a different studio. That can be a problem. The animation can sometimes not look great. But season 2, they also took some shortcuts with Rin on her bike, which I did not enjoy. So some of the animation in season 2 was not great. It was not up to snuff. So hopefully they get a good budget for season 3. I love Laid Back Camp. This is my number one anticipated show for this season. This was my number one anticipated show for 2024, along with Solo Leveling. I'm so excited we're getting it. And yeah, also season 2 had a Initial D reference, so it's already very good. Mahjong Sokan is the sequel to the other Mahjong, Soul Pawn. Did not watch Soul Pawn. Not going to watch Soul Khan. Mission. Yokozuna Family is... so I have not read this manga. I have heard good things. I have heard bad things about this manga. I don't think I'm going to watch this. But I have heard some interesting stuff about it. Yeah. I don't know. I've heard it goes places. I've heard the manga goes places, but I don't know if I'm going to watch this. I might end up skipping it. Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 Core 2. I am very behind on this show. It is a show that I will eventually watch. Isekai, watch list. It will be on that. I can never recommend this show. I think you should watch clips of the show because it's animated beautifully. The magic, the detail they put into making the magic look good in this show. I think the fight scenes, choreography are great. But the main character sucks less. Rudy sucks less now. But he still sucks, and I still hate him. But also, Jobless Reincarnation is that light novel and manga that was so good that it redefined a genre. It is the grandfather of isekai, of modern isekai. And I guess I'm glad it has an adaptation, even if I'm not super into it. Oblivion Battery. This is a sports show that I have not heard anything about. It doesn't seem interesting to me. One Room is the first show of the new season. At the time of this recording, it has not come out yet. By the time this goes live on my YouTube, this will have come out. I don't know if this is a first-person perspective show. I don't think it is, but it's a dude that ends up living with a magical girl. And then there are other girls, and I'm good. I think I'm good with that. Yeah. Remonster. Studio Dean is putting out an isekai, getting the isekai game. I don't think this is a good manga. I'm going to give the anime a try because I try to watch a lot of isekai. I do like this dude got reincarnated as a goblin and is just going to try to become stronger and stronger. And then there are people around him. I think it's like I said, I don't think this is a particularly great manga, but I'll give the anime a chance. Remonster. Rinkai is women's cycling. Shortly after World War II, or is this got folded after just 15 years and like dormant for decades? Then Rinkai League launched to revive the sport. Am I right that this is based on a true story? I believe this is a dramatization of a real league that has remerged. A women's cycling league has merged in Japan. I'm fairly sure that that's true. Or that has happened, and then this also is happening. It's a coincidence, but I think this is based kind of on a true events. That seems kind of neat. More Shadowverse. Shinkleon Change the World. Hey, that looks like a fake Gundam. That looks like a knockoff goddamn Gundam. That's very much not a Gundam. This description, like, first off, there's several things to look at here, right? One is immediately my eye comes to that's definitely not a Gundam. That's also clearly CGI and mixing with digital, which I don't love. But then you look at 4 studios are on this list. Now, obviously, a music studio, it's going to be different, but they're still listed. Production IG, Signal MD, Shogakuku Kan Music, and Digital Entertainment. That's too many names here. We got our real words that are used for bullshit. Unknown is a mysterious enemy that suddenly appeared a long time ago. As a countermeasure, the Evolutionary Railway Development Agency, ERDA, has developed the Shinkleon robot that transforms into bullet trains. So I get, okay, so it looks like a Gundam, but also that's parts of a train. This is a transforming robot mech? Unknown appear first time in 10 years. It actually happens to have high aptitude for, value. High aptitude value as a pilot. What is the true nature of the unknown and what is its purpose? What is the truth that comes to light at the end of the fight? The story of boys' determination and growing begins now. And I don't understand what this says. It says, relations are provisional and will be updated with more info as announced. And I don't know what that fucking means. That's just in the description. Do they let people out of the train? My guess is, John, there's nobody in the train. It's not just, the train does not have occupants. I think it's a train so they can travel faster to where the unknown are using the rail line. That's my guess. I don't know. Sound Euphorium in season 3. Yeah. I'm in no hurry to watch this. Because I do really like this show. This is a good drama. But it's not something that I have to watch weekly. I'm never oh God, I can't believe I have to wait 7 more days for the next episode of Sound Euphorium. I'll watch it this season. You know what I'm not going to watch is Spice and Wolf, Merchant Meets the Wise Wolf, because I already watched Spice and Wolf and it was good. I talked about this in like talking about the Shaman King adaptation, uh, Urusei Yatsura, which is a good adaptation. Spice and Wolf was good, and if you're telling me, okay, so let me just say this: if you're telling me that the original anime adaptation of Spice and Wolf wasn't true to the light novels or the manga and didn't get it right, well, that sucks. But also, it was really good. So I don't know what to tell you. It was really fucking good, and I don't need to watch another version of it. I don't need to watch it again. I thought it was going to be like a sequel or something, but no, it's just a remake. It's just a remake of Spice and Wolf. Why? There's so much good stuff that has never been adapted. There's so many things that haven't come out. You don't need to make Spice and Wolf again. I'm annoyed. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Husband, due to status, Omega. Let's see. So, I don't know what's going on. Studio Dean is doing another one. I don't know what's going on with this romance drama here. Born family moved to a better area. Despite newfound bliss, the family ties to their past are in tatters. I don't think I'm going to watch this one. I'm going to keep my ears peeled. About this one, but it's not really sticking out to me. Hey, it's Slime. It's that time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 3. It's going to be adapting some stuff that I have read in the manga. Season 2 was kind of weird. So, if you haven't been caught up, Season 1 happened, and they had a 2-core. Back-to-back 2-core. And the next arc that they need to cover, they really couldn't do. So what they did was they skipped a bunch of stuff and jumped to a small story. So Season 2 went back to where they had skipped. Also, there was OVAs. 2 OVAs are non-canon, and 2 OVAs are canon, which is terrible, but whatever. They're side stories, it's fine. So Season 2 started with, this is the stuff you missed when we skipped to the kids. And then the second part of Season 2 was like, now we're back in the present, and this is where things take a turn, things go bad, and Rimuru becomes even stronger, unbelievably stronger. Holy shit, he's so much stronger than he was. And it's fucking awesome. One of the best scenes in all of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime happens in Season 2, where a dude talks about a bunch of cool plans he has. He's like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And we've got it. And then he steps outside a tent and immediately get one shot and killed. And it's better in the anime than it is in the manga because they heightened it in the anime. And it's just like, it's the biggest own in the series. And it's great. So this is going to be Season 3. There's some action. There's some more shit that comes into this season. I love That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It has lost some of the comedy, right? If you really liked the first season and the goofiness of the first season, I would recommend Slime Diary, which is the chibi side series that is it's just all comedy. It's all comedy in the show. It is like little side stories. There's a lot of side story manga that's out there. There's a lot of like, oh, we're at peace, and here's through the perspective of like a wolf girl that comes to town or whatever. But this one's going to have a lot of action. There's going to be some good fuck off moments in this. And some revelations of like some larger stuff. We still haven't gotten to the real like, what the fuck are we doing here stuff. But It's good. And the manga that I'm reading right now, I don't think we're going to get caught up to where I'm at the manga. We might be where the official releases of the manga, I should say. Yeah, I'm hyped for it. I knew I would be. I'm not going to cover it every week on my streams, but I am hyped for it. The banished former hero lives as he pleases. Studio Dean partnering with another company. Studio Dean just fucking going for it. I think they got 3 shows out this season. That's wild for a studio that doesn't always put stuff out. I have not read the light novel this is based on. I don't know. There is a manga, and I have read it. Some of it. This is another kicked from the Heroes Party thing. This dude, like, does not have a gift from God, and people are like, get out of here. He's banished. He doesn't need it because he has all his powers that he saved up, and then it's just him hanging out with his ex-fiance, traveling the world, doing stuff, meeting the actual hero of this world. And he's trying to have a chill life, but his life can't be chill. It's good. I like it. I'm going to watch it. The Duke of Death and His Maid Season 3. I can't believe they're still making seasons of this show. It's so mid. It's so middling. JC Staff, go for it, I guess. It must be popular if they're on Season 3. To me, there's nothing about it that I'm like, hell yeah. The Fable. The Fable could be fucking good. Is High Dive picked that up? No. Disney Plus. Okay. I won't know because now there are 2 shows on Disney Plus coming out that I won't be watching. The Fable seems like it could be fucking pretty cool. It's just like a dude that has to lay low and not be a hitman for a while. And he doesn't know how to do that. It seems pretty good. I've heard good things about the manga. I mean, I guess at the end of this season, I'm going to have to get Disney Plus for a month and watch a couple shows. I don't want to do that, but I might end up doing that. Idol Master Shiny Colors. I'm good. Irregular at Magic High School Season 3. The 3rd season at the battle against the new breed front. Tatsuya and Mayuki enter the new magic engineering department. Fable looks a bit like Yakuza House Husband. Yeah, only like, what if it was a harder transition? You know what I mean? Or like the Yakuza Babysitter. That one where it's like, yeah, he's doing pretty good. That guy looks like he's struggling. Do I say this? I think I do. If you are watching this on Monday or when it comes out on YouTube and you do not want to be spoiled about the Irregular at Magic High School, skip ahead. If you were watching this live, mute me for a little bit and I'll wave when I'm done. There is a major spoiler that I'm going to tell you about this show, about a previous season of the show, that if you do not want to know it, I will wave again when you can unmute. So I'll wave again when you can unmute and I'll call you back in. They're not brother and sister. The core element of this show that made it impossible to recommend to people was that the main 2 characters were clearly in love with one another, and it was creepy as fuck because they were brother and sister. And characters commented on how close they were and how it felt a little weird. This is an overpowered main character show, a guy without emotions who gave up his emotions to gain power to protect his sister, and they go through all of that, and they are not related. And that doesn't make it okay, but it does make it a different kind of weird. Because was that always the plan? Or did this show and this manga become so popular that they had to fucking retcon it? And also, I really wonder, are they actually related? And we'll find out even later that they are actually related. I am going to watch this show. I won't watch it weekly because I still think The character design is so fucking good. I think the school uniforms are unbelievably cool. I think the magic powers are great. I think Tatsuya is a cool main character, even though he is in love with his sister, who is not his sister, but they were raised like they were brother and sister. It's fucked. Anyway, when I learned that, I was like, I need to talk about this, and I haven't been able to. So if you can come back, friends, you can come back. I'll wave you back. You can come back if you muted. I don't know if anyone muted there. I don't know. But we're going to move on to the next thing. I had to talk about it. The many sides of voice actor radio. Oh, that's coming to Crunchyroll. Nice. I didn't know if this was going to get picked up. This is like the reality of these characters, the on camera and off camera of like friends in a relationship. Also, I love the idea that that radio is cutthroat, because I mean everything is, all entertainment is, but yeah, I'm gonna watch this one. This seems neat. This feels like a thing that I'm like, oh, I'm surprised Crunchyroll picked this up. This felt like something I wouldn't be able to see, so I think this would be cool. The Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2 Core 2. I love clips of this show. I think I have fallen out of love with watching it. Part of it is the fact that they changed voice actors, which they had to due to scandal. And I think the new voice actor for Anos is not as good as the previous one, who, again, they had to remove from the project due to scandals. And not like weed, like I believe adultery was the reason. It was like nonsense. There's some nonsense going on. It's tough. It's tough to be a voice actor in Japan. You got to be way more than just someone who gets into a booth. But yeah, I don't kind of give a shit. I think season 1 is very fun, and season 2 part 1 was okay. So I don't know. I probably won't watch it. Hey, here's an isekai. This was one of the last isekai that we'll talk about, I believe. The New Gate is cool. This is okay, so man, I enjoyed the manga adaptation of this, but the trailer doesn't look good. Yes, the trailer for New Gate is not good looking. Yokohama Animation Lab and Cloud Hearts. So, New Gate. You know those anime where someone was playing a VR MMO and they're trapped in the VR MMO, like Sword Art Online, or there's other ones, but Sword Art Online is the one's coming to me. Log Horizon, those ones where, oh, we're trapped in a video game world. Well, what if you saved everyone in that video game world? What if you stopped it? But instead of going back to reality, you woke up in that world 500 years in the future, but that video game world is now real. Overlord, yeah, Overlord is you get Overlord is the second part of it, where the video game you played is now real. That's Overlord, that's Kuma Kuma Bear, that's a bunch of those, right? So this is different in that this is the Sword Art Online death game. We don't see any of the death game. There's like moments in the manga where they like reference some things that happened and maybe a couple scenes, but there's a whole anime that we aren't going to see because the show starts with our dude in this world. So he already finished the death game, and his reward is he's now in that world that he was trapped in is now real. 500 years in the future, some of the characters from that world are around. And some NPCs were old characters. So it's him doing whatever he can to kind of piece things together a little bit in this other reality. And there are references to what happened in the past, and there's a great adventure, and it's a great manga. And yes, I agree with Brozard that I did not think the trailer for this looked particularly good, and that's kind of worrying. And then also, nobody has picked this up yet, but I'm sure someone will, because it is very rare that an isekai does not get picked up, because It is a popular subgenre. And then Tonari no Yokai-san looks fucking weird as shit. I hope at the time of this recording, nobody's picked this up yet, and I hope someone does. It is a slice of life about creatures in a village just living their lives. There's like a cat person and like a bird, and yeah. Mutsumi, I hope Mutsumi's missing father shows up. Yeah. There's a guy that lived as a cat, and now he is like a cat person. So we get a little rebirth in there, and we got a crow Tengu. It just seems neat. I don't know. It seems immediately endearing, and I would like to know more about it. I don't know if anyone's going to pick it up, but I hope someone does. Tonbo. I am not a sports anime guy, but I do love the idea of a retired pro golfer who has to leave after an incident and discovers a girl in this weird island who has gotten accidentally or in her own style very good at golf. But she has her own sad past, and like they'll learn a lot about one another and themselves. And I'm probably not going to watch this, but it seems kind of cool. Token Ranbukai. They have a TikTok page. One day a new sword manifested at the Citadel. A sword worn by a commander of the Sengoku It's an Oda Nobunaga thing, but isn't a thing. Former beloved sword, but clashes with other swords and also called Nobunaga their former master. The appointed team captain. Are these men who are swords? This is an anime about men who are swords. Okay. The director and playwright of the original play. This is an anime about anthropomorphized pretty sword men. And I think I think that's great. But I don't. Also, it's only 8 episodes, which is interesting. Is it 1 episode per sword? I have so many questions that I may never answer. Train to the End of the World is so this season we do have girls doing things. It just so happens that a couple of our girls doing things shows seems to be girls trying to survive is the thing they're trying to do. Be it we're going to start an art project or we're going to ride the doomsday train. Town outside countryside, big and strange occurrences. Young girl has a strong desire to see her lost friend again. Shizuru and 3 other girls and a dog, apparently, board an abandoned train, and they set off to the outside world where survival is not certain. What awaits them at the last stop of the doomsday train? What the fuck is this? It's original. I mean, I might give this a shot. I don't know. Unnamed Memory. Oh, yeah. This is a great manga. I didn't know this was getting an anime adaptation. I'm sorry. I didn't notice this previously when I looked through the list here. When I skimmed the list. Okay, so a guy has to break a curse that has plagued his kingdom, the royal lineage, and the way he wants to break the curse is to marry the witch. He wants to marry the witch. There's a lot of magic. There's some romance. It's a good manga that I've really enjoyed. And yeah, it's like some of it's cutesy. There's some action. There's a lot of stuff about her past. Some good magic in there. And then also like he's coming on really strong, but mostly because she's just like, I'm not going to marry you. You know, she's like, that's not how this ends up, but maybe it is. Pretty good. Vampire Dormitory, a cross-dressing girl and doting vampire dangerous cohabitation is about to begin. at a restaurant where she works with no money, no place to live. She's taken in by Ruka, a vampire. In exchange for giving Ruka her blood as his food, she ends up living with him in a boys' dorm full of beautiful boys with unique personalities. This is someone's anime that they are most anticipating. There is someone out there that is like, they're making an anime version of Vampire Dormitory. I can't wait. And I look at it and go, I'm good. But for the person that is like, this is my most anticipated, hell yeah. I'm so happy for you. Legitimately happy for you. Viral hit. I feel like I have read a dozen manga with this premise and like 8 dozen manhwa with this present. Oh wow. We are almost hitting another ad. We got to wrap this thing up before I can only snooze for a little while because yeah, we've been going a long time. I'm going 2.5 hours here. Almost. Viral hit feels like a ton of manhwa and a ton of manga that I have read. I am probably not going to watch this. I think I'm good. Whisper Me a Love Song is, hey, it's our Yuri. We had some BL last season. We get some Yuri this season. This is like a girl that gets confessed to, but turns out the confession wasn't a real confession. And she's like, oh, it wasn't, was it? Well, I'll make you fall in love with me since you already misunderstood. Because she's like, oh, it's not that I love you. It's I love the music you're making, basically. And she's like, yeah, we'll see about that. And I think that's fun. I think that is a fun premise. Yokohama Animation Lab is doing a bunch of stuff. Cloud Heart's also doing a bunch of stuff. This one seems neat. And I like the premise a lot. I like, yeah, we'll see. And again, having some more openly queer anime, always good to see. And then Windbreaker. Lunar J just raided. Welcome, Raiders. Hello. Hi, everybody. Appreciate y'all being here. Literally, we're in the midst of. For those who don't know, I'll do this briefly. Pat Bear's Anime Club is my look at anime that I want to talk about. Any kind of anime I want to talk about. Right now, we are doing the winter recap and the spring preview. We are towards the end of the spring preview. If you were unaware of what's going on with the spring anime, we'll talk about a couple of those shows. And I just got to talk about like what's coming up, what's coming out. I don't always talk about anime. I'm mostly a model kit builder. On Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I build model kits. This is also a good ad for the people that are watching this video on YouTube later that I stream, and you should watch those streams. But yeah, this appears to be some sort of Fight Club style thing. Cloverworks is making it. That's cool that Cloverworks is doing this adaptation. Chime with the Windbreaker. The heroic tale of high school delinquents. It's high school delinquent Sakura. Okay. It's a Fight Club school. If that's something you're into, this might be right up your alley. It's going to be on Crunchyroll. It sounds pretty good. I have not read this manga. I know it's out there, but I have not checked it out myself personally. All right, shorts. Shorts rarely show up on Crunchyroll or High Dive. Usually it's because they're paired with something else that they show up. So there's only 2 shorts so far anyway. We got more Delicious in Dungeon. I will give this another chance. I talked about it already tonight. The show I do really like, but just it hasn't hit me. Sengoku Yuko has again 37 episodes. I don't know how that show got 37 episodes. I have heard nothing good nor nothing bad about it. Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy Season 2. What I said last about this before, like if you liked the first season, it's more of the stuff you liked. If you haven't gotten into it, it's a hard recommendation for isekai. But there was some good shit in the first half of the second season. So, Urusei Yatsura, I have not checked it out any of season 3, but I really liked season 1 and I liked season 2 quite a bit as well. Um, if you have to make a new version, a new adaptation of Urusei Yatsura, have it be by David Production and sink a ton of fucking money into it, which they clearly have. Let's see. Blue Lock is getting an episode movie, looks like. Good for them. Bocchi the Rock. This is the compilation film. They are doing 2 compilation films. This is not new material. There might be some new material squeaked in here and there, but this is mostly just a compilation. Code Geass is, let's see. This is 4-episode thing, which could be live streamed. Button there. Dead Demons Destruction has a really good name. I don't believe I have watched the first movie. I guess 2 movies. That's a great name. Destruction. Gintama on Theater 2D, which is the theatrical cut of episodes 257 to 261, which is part of the 20th anniversary project. Gintama never dies. It just gets repackaged. I Rise the movie Full Energy. Iris? Oh, Iris, not I Rise. Iris the movie Full Energy. Okay. It's a good name. Let's see. More of this one. The art style doesn't look great on it, though, unfortunately. But that does look cool. Again, another detective. The 27th Detective Conan movie is coming, folks. The 27th Detective Conan movie. Hell yeah. Never stop making that. Dear Friends. Ooh. Oh, that's the sequel to Dear Sisters, which is it's a Yuri spinoff. Okay, that's awesome. Rabbit's Kingdom the movie is 10th anniversary. Okay, yeah. I don't know the source material, so. Also, we only get so many movies and specials, one-off episodes. Pretty Derby, Beginning of a New Era, which is a film here, which follows like the last thing of Pretty Derby, more Pretty Derby stuff, and then another movie. Let's see, and then we got again, we're gonna have stuff here. How AniChart, because we are using AniChart here, how they deal with shows that are going to air all at the same time in some region of the world. They put it all in OVA, ONA special, which is unfortunate, in my opinion, because this is going to be, I think this is just one episode. But that's also where they would have put Baki, because Baki usually comes out all at once. Blue Lock episode, additional time, which is mini anime short. Okay. It's post-credit stuff from the movie. There are 4 episodes of that. My Oni Girl. Ooh. First year high school student finds someone to say no whenever someone requests something of him. Oh, like Welcome to Demons, like Irma-kun. One summer day, he encounters an Oni girl who has come to the human world to search for her mother. She does not. What her pleases is the complete opposite. Huh. That's cute. That seems cute. We probably won't get it, but it seems cute. 1620s. Okay. 25th anniversary. Rising Impact. It's another. There are 2 golf shows this season. There are 2 golf animes this season. That's wild. More Saint Seiya, which again will be on, will be Crunchyroll. Okay. Sandland, the series. Okay, so Sandland, episodes 1 through 7 came out all at once, but episodes 8 through 13, I don't know if they're coming out all at once in the second half or if they're going to be weekly, but we'll know in a few hours if more show up. But There were some people that were like, oh, why is it only 7? It's not. They put them out because it is their new stuff, basically. There's a new golf manga out there as well. Nice. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I have not watched it yet. I am looking forward to watching Sandland. This fucking thing. This got delayed. This was supposed to be out, I think, last season or maybe the season before. Okay, so Bara is an underserved market. All right, it is unbelievably underserved. Okay, please believe me when I tell you that it's an underserved market of the like big boy queer world. BL is often for the female gaze, not for the queer male gaze. So it's usually like the pretty boy stuff. And sometimes they break away from that by just being like, yeah, this is like a typically look good looking, but not overtly good looking dude. They go like the Cherry Magic route where like, those are handsome men, but like they're not. This is just like, hey dude, do you want to hang out with me? I'm a big boy. And a guy being like, yes. Yeah, but this has gotten postponed, I think, a couple times. So I'm glad it's finally coming out, and it is an underserved market. Let's see, we got Grim Variations, which is a 6-episode thing coming to Netflix, and TP Ball. Time Traveling Agents. Okay. So yeah, this season, lots of good stuff. There is plenty of stuff I just probably will never watch. But a ton of good things. I have been talking for 2 hours and 40 minutes. We gotta raid. We gotta wrap this up. I'm gonna end this video recording, and then I'll wrap up the stream. If you were watching this on YouTube and you watched 2 hours and 40 minutes of me talking, thank you. Look forward to more Pat Bear's Anime Club in the future. Leave a comment about what you're excited about for the new season. Thanks for watching this video.